Hello! It is day 2, it is Sunday. I am on a very strict timeline to get this done. We are having dinner in what is possibly quite an echoey room, and we are now going to continue with the brainstorming because I have problems. Part of them are Hugo. So I have actually gone through and edited down the footage from, gone through the footage from yesterday. It's over an hour long after I've cut the ums and ahs and stumbling of words. So
we'll see how many people are watching this.
We will. I don't know what that sound was, but yes, we will. I have also had 3 thoughts. I had 3 thoughts.
That's very impressive.
24 hours and 3 thoughts. I just want to put it out there.
Yeah.
Very impressive. No, but I've had 3 thoughts about this project since we stopped brainstorming, and you have not heard any of them, so I will tell them to you. Well, you've heard one. You've heard one.
I've heard one.
I have named Hugo's sister. And I did this last night, and then I said to Marcus that we'll see if it was late, and I said, we'll see if I find this as funny tomorrow morning. It's now tomorrow evening. I still think it's fun. Cool. So Hugo's sister is now named Quinn. Because it's very much fun to say Quinn. Even though she doesn't, maybe that's why she doesn't want to be queen.
Maybe. Very valid reason.
It's not like, oh, I could change the name I go by as Queen. It's like, no, I have to stick with my name, and that would be an awful one. My parents didn't think this through when they named me. But
her parents didn't know that she might potentially become queen, so they thought, like, as a consolation prize, she gets a name that almost sounds like it.
That is an awful consolation prize.
Someone was drunk when they came up with that one.
I wasn't. Just want to point that out. I was very sober. But yes, that was thing number 1. I still think that's a good name. I don't know if like Quinn and Hugo as sibling names go. I mean, they work. They're fine. Hugo and Quinn both have a U in them.
I mean, I'm mostly wondering, like,
the country.
Yeah. Where is the country? What country do they speak there? Because Hugo makes me think Germany-ish.
It is a German name.
Yeah.
Quinn is a Gaelic name or Welsh name. I looked it up.
Yeah, I think Great Britain with Quinn at least. So from that perspective, I'm not sure if it entirely makes sense. But
no, sorry. Yeah.
It could also be that her first name isn't actually Quinn. She goes by that name because it's more international. Yeah. But she actually has a more Germanish sounding name as her first name. So maybe her name wouldn't be Queen Quinn, but that could still be.
Could still be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm also thinking, if we look at monarchies that we have today, and I'm relatively not well versed in it, but I know some things. I know that our royal babies, they don't have super regional names, super royal sounding names for our standards.
Oscar?
Yeah, Oscar is one. It's an old name as such. We have had an Estelle before, but that was like a second or third middle name. But especially it doesn't really go for this, but because our crown princess's kids are Estelle and Oscar, still pretty regal sounding names. The crown princess has 2 siblings. One of them has a Gabriel and something else that I can't remember. I'll put it on the screen. And the other one has a son whose name I'm completely blanking on, Leonor or Adrienne, which are very not Swedish royal sounding names.
Yeah. Is that the sibling that lives in the US?
Yes.
Yeah. I like how we're like anonymizing them. We're not saying their names because you might.
Well, I thought that you didn't know the names, so you know.
I mean, I know the names of the.
What's your husband's name?
Chris.
Oh, fine. Either way, that point is that it's sort of, we are modernizing. You don't have to be I mean, our king is Gustav. He is the 16th. 15 other kings have had that first name, and we are veering away from that and becoming more international. I mean, all our names are like, whatever, sort of more international. The Queen, Hugo's and Quinn's mother, if her name is Quinn, could be from another country and want to take her, naming practices from her culture or country. So I think it would be okay. I mean, if we look at, I don't want to name my sibling or your siblings on the internet, but like me and my brother, our names work together. They're quite common names, both of them, but they're not from the same naming culture back in history, you know? And that, no one questions that, but we're also not royals, apparently.
Yeah, and I mean, it's your fictional country, you get to decide what they have named their kids. I just wanted to point out that could be a thing that...
I've thought of it too, and I haven't yet decided where the geographical location of this is. But I think I want to go with Quinn.
Yeah.
I like though that the friend, I'm gonna keep calling him friend for now, I had like Enrique was a name I had, and I was like, that's too far from Hugo, that's not gonna work. And I was like, that could still work though. I also realized that when I originally thought up this idea, I think Hugo was supposed to be called Victor. Which is a very kind of royal sounding name. King named Victory is like... Anyway, that was my first thought that we've talked about for 8 minutes now.
Yeah.
My second thought was that the school has this, not motto, but like this, you're not really supposed to talk about where you came from. So everyone gets an even playing field, which they don't, but sort of, you're not forbidden to do it, but you're advised not to. You're sort of...
It's sort of viewed as impolite or
sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not appropriate.
Yes. And that also makes it work even more why no one knows who he is, why he doesn't tell them, even though we did have the reasoning for him not telling them. But there are people who do that anyway. And I had a thought when I wrote that down. I don't remember what that thought was, but there was a point to it.
So you had 4 thoughts?
Anyway, I also don't know if people know that he and Quinn are siblings. Because I'm also thinking, like, I'm thinking that he is whisked away from home in the dead of night, you know, he just disappears. And the media will be speculating, and probably be like, oh, he's put in rehab, or he's, you know, something like that. So that he will get a chance at a new start. However, Quinn, while anonymous, isn't hiding. And the media aren't as interested in her because she's not the heir.
She doesn't do as interesting things.
Exactly, she's kind of boring, you know, she's not fun to write about, no one buys the glossy tabloids, you know. But I'm wondering now, if I have a 5th thought, I'm wondering now if once the shift in the handing your throne down to succession. Once the succession starts maybe becoming changed, or if it even passes, like when it passes, they get very interested in her. And she's not hiding. Like it's I don't think anyone speculates like, oh, we the country know that Quinn is at this school. And now Hugo's disappeared. Well, he's probably in rehab. We don't think he's here.
No.
But once the succession changing talks or votes or whatever happen, she could very possibly be their new queen. And the media of their country will seek her out at the school because it's now a real chance. Which also this will show how much she hates that life. Which but they will seek her out, and that's going to be very annoying for her. But also, he's on the same campus. People there might not know that they are siblings. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter. Never mind. He's going to be on the same campus, either having to stay hidden or do something about it. But he can't flat out tell the media to leave his sister alone, because then they're going to know that he's there, and then he's going to get attention, and then, you know. If people know that they are siblings, and then the media shows up and talks to her and future queen, I mean, that word is going to start spreading on campus, then they must know, they must find out who he is.
Yeah.
Is that how he's found out?
Maybe. I mean, it makes sense from a...
More, I got it.
I mean, from a perspective of like, just sequence of events, if we ignore what we...
I do sequence of events. I'm thinking. That was a very good bow. This hand was a flouncy one, not the one I'm actually... Whatever, continue. I do sequence.
If we ignore what we want from a story perspective of like conflict and all of that,
pain, suffering,
yeah, and antagonists and all that, it certainly makes sense that she has a chance to become queen now. Media finds her, word spreads.
Then you have to look for her, I didn't know where she is. Yeah. Imagine that's how she finds out. Like, because she's not really been following the news back home. She's busy, she's studying hard, she's, you know, doing all that. And then she just wakes up one morning, walks out of her dorm or walks out of class to just a sea of photographers. Because while the country is this big, 80% of the population is in the media, apparently.
Yeah, and can make it into the super secure school.
Okay, maybe not. But I'm just picturing, I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but I'm just picturing now that happens, like that's how she finds out. Somehow, true, the guarding and the security, but still, that's how she finds out. We talked yesterday about this nemesis. I'm going to use that as the, I realized when I edited, I was like, Antichrist is the point.
But now you have to call it that.
No. I realized when I was editing that I called them antagonist, villain, thank you. Nemesis is a better word maybe for whatever. Either way, the person that is pitted against Hugo in the debate and starts spinning the wheel. He invents it first and then he finds out about Hugo's secret before the world finds out, or before the school finds out. And I said that they can maybe be the kid of a media mogul or something. And like, I don't know, the step from this is small micronation where we care about our royal family to our princess might become queen. When does this become big news? You know? Is the general public of the world gonna care about this? Is it gonna make the news elsewhere? Because I'm thinking, the media comes there, people at the school find out who Quinn is, her, you know, royal status. They know they are siblings. This nemesis starts looking into Hugo. First, like, something's gonna tip him off to want to dig up some dirt. But I've also interrupted you and gone like 4 blocks away from the conversation you were having, so you may continue that.
That's okay, it's your brainstorming. I mean, first about that, does that make sense timeline-wise?
No.
No, he was gonna lose...
He was gonna lose the debate.
Yeah.
That, wait, we have the start. I'm gonna use this as a clock. We have the start, normal life. The inciting incident is the big scandal. No, the inciting incident is probably we're fed up with you. If they're not going to know what the scandal is,
No.
which we don't know yet, you're going to get sent off. Then we have the first plot point. So the first pinch point is what we talked about now, and that is your MC's been exploring their new situation, meeting people, learning new things, and discovering new dangers and tensions. This all leads to the first pinch point, which is the first major interaction with the antagonist. Oh, it's still there.
Yeah, wasn't there going to be another, like, there was one debate and then there was a second one, and that's where the subject was going to be.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, I didn't decide that had to be the next thing, but it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when it's happening. Okay, but if we go back, the ordinary world, which is the first dot, status quo, partying, doing that. Inciting incident, you're being sent to boarding school. First plot point, your MC may have tried to avoid the call, but now things are getting weird / more intense, and they're forced to make a choice to join the action. Everything changes, there's no going back now. How does the situation escalate, and what forces your MC to choose? How do they feel about it? That was going to be the first debate.
Yes.
First pinch point is the first interaction with the first major interaction with the antagonist. Doesn't add up.
Wasn't that gonna be when?
Which is that? The first pinch point?
Yes. I don't know this plot structure very well, but from what I remember, we said that was gonna be the second debate where the subject is his big bad thing that he did.
Yes.
Combined with the law has now changed. His parents can't disown him.
I thought that the first debate and him failing that, and then the threat of the law, the threat of being disowned, and my idea of the second debate was just an idea I threw out yesterday. I didn't mean it to be at this point.
Okay.
Necessarily.
Okay.
I feel like it's a bit, again, I need to learn that it's not, the next day this happens. There are things happening in between.
Yeah.
But to me right now it sounds very sudden between, we have 4 steps so far. Step 2 is failing a debate. Step 4 is a new debate.
Yes, but it's, like you said, there are...
Because he was going to start bettering himself too, after he failed the first debate.
Yeah. And that's...
Wasn't that the first pinch point? Well, he's been exploring new situation, learning new things.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because after the first debate he was gonna start getting better because he realizes that I have lost people's respect. The people I thought liked me here don't anymore.
Yeah. Or maybe never did.
Yeah. They look down on me. And they don't see me as one of them.
I don't see me as one of them?
They don't see me as one of them.
Oh.
And so I'm gonna better myself because I need recognition and I need...
I'm still looking for this outside validation.
Yeah.
So this is the sort of aftermath of failing the debate.
Yeah.
But before the next plot point.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I mean, I guess the second debate in this is irrelevant if we ignore that one. The pinch point?
First pinch point, first battle.
Could then very well be the law has changed. Quinn is now at risk of inheriting the throne.
Yeah.
He has to step up for her sake.
Would it be fun? Because if we go back to the fact that there's heavy security on this school, you can't just walk in and take pictures of someone. Which means that the media has to set up like a photo call with Quinn. No, right, the media don't know he's there. I was gonna say, would it be fun to have him sort of be like, okay, I've been called to this photo call with Quinn. I don't want to go because questions. But if I don't go, I am once again being irresponsible and all those things. But
I was thinking regarding the media showing up at the school and all that.
They take a field trip away from school.
Either that or like the media sets up outside of the school, tries to get in, because that way things are going to spread even faster. And then there are going to be rumors about it in school before the media gets their hands on Quinn.
And at this point, I also want the blog to already be up and running. Because I think that, like, that needs to start kind of early.
I've been wondering, is the blog a new thing?
Or is it an every year?
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be a continuous.
Yeah.
But it's like, people, everyone gets something out of it. It's juicy gossip. It's, you know, not everyone likes it, definitely not. But it's the kind of thing that you keep secret from your parents, from people outside the school. So they were not prepared for this.
Yeah.
Quinn and Hugo and E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking it could be a fun, like just, it could be a fun thing that like someone started this 10 years ago, or someone started with a zine 30 years ago, and then every year they hand it over to someone else. So it keeps continuing even though the person who started it is long gone.
Yeah.
So it's a new person this year doing it. But it has been going on for a long time.
It would be fun to write that character.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should write a short story about that character.
Could be fun to write the posts.
Yeah.
Have them showing up sometimes. But yes, okay, Mila shows up outside the school. Or outside campus. And news starts spreading. Like, yeah. I don't know how they start spreading, but I mean, like, somehow.
Yeah, it's a closed campus. People are going to gossip about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it becomes clear to Hugo that this law has passed, or, you know, and sort of the step up to action, step up to the plate, whatever, that I need to shape up for her sake. No, because now I'm lost again, I'm sorry. Status quo, inciting incident, fail in debate, haha, you suck. First pinch point, the law has passed, the media shows up. Okay, cool.
Should you make a little circle and write down the actual things?
So, we have a circle. This circle really didn't need to be very big, but it is now. So 1, status quo. I don't need to write more about that. 2, you're being sent off.
Bye-bye. Hi.
Bye-bye. We have a ringing this now in case you hear funny noises. 3, loses debates. So in between here we have partying. Right?
Yeah.
And in between here we have partying. So 4, law passes. Media shows up. Quinn. Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, because that means that we are then at the midpoint,
Mm-hmm.
which is the shift from victim to warrior. Your MC continues to change new faces. He continues to face new challenges, but they're on the defense, mostly reacting, waiting, making things worse. Then halfway through the novel, so now, something happens to shift their perspective and spur them to take action, to stop reacting and start winning, no matter what it takes. What does your MC try when they're on the defense? What shifts them into offense? What new plans do they make? So that does a bit sound like the, oh no, my poor sister, I'm gonna fix this.
Yeah, but then that is what you just put as 4 is the midpoint and not the first pinch point.
Yeah. Read the first pinch point again, please.
Your MC has been exploring their new situation, meeting people, learning new things, and discovering new dangers and tensions.
Mm-hmm.
This all leads to the first pinch point, which is the first major interaction with the antagonist in some form. What will happen if your MC fails to defeat this challenge at the end of the story? The stakes.
This is where I'm so lost, though. Because that then sounds like the debate. This debate, the first one, where he loses the debate. Are we missing something? I just feel like I've been going in circles. Like I've been going in circles about this. Also, we don't yet have the blog having been important here.
No.
Nothing's happened with E.
No.
Like, we have things like that need to be sprinkled in too. But
I mean, the first plot point, so what we've now set as the debate, is that they have tried to avoid the call, meaning he's tried to not care about the school he's suddenly been sent to.
Mm-hmm.
But now things are getting weirder / more intense, and they're forced to make a choice to join the action. He's forced to make the choice to start studying so that people will respect me.
Yeah, that fits as 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I agree that the law passes, media shows up, does sound more like a midpoint.
I mean, I guess it depends. Let's see, so the first pinch point. Your MC has been exploring their new situation, meeting people, learning new things, and discovering new dangers and tensions. He has been studying, literally learning new things, discovering that studying is harder than he thought, harder than it's ever been before. Discovering maybe that, like, people around him are getting more recognition or are being, like, basically discovering that he's not the center of the universe.
He's not special.
Yeah. This all leads to the first pinch point, which is the first major interaction with the antagonist in some form.
We haven't decided who or what the antagonist is.
No.
Is it the law passing? Is it his parents? Is it the blog? Is it the... Now I just have naive nemesis. Words, brain, no friends. That's how he feels.
Yeah, so the first pinch point, because it says that this all leads to the first pinch point. And so the things
this being
his studying and all of that should lead to something, and that doesn't lead to the law passing.
It does not lead to the law passing.
No.
And I feel like also, because I want his studying to have results. Like, I don't want it to be, like, it's going to be hard for him, but I still want it to be, look, I'm actually making progress. And for that then to be shattered when the second debate comes up and he gets this opponent knows something and all that. But he can't be too happy of a thing either.
Could the first pinch point have something to do with E? I'm thinking in terms of because I don't know how you want the relationship or the romance to
blossom.
Yeah, to go.
Hopefully well.
But I'm thinking if this leads to the first pinch point, first major interaction with the antagonist.
What if E is written about on the blog?
Potentially.
If the blog is the antagonist, that could work.
Yeah.
Something really awful, embarrassing, whatever about E is spread on this blog. and he takes it really, really poorly. And Hugo steps up as a friend, gets angry with it, like...
Something where if I don't do something about this, Hugo and E aren't going to end up together.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be that Hugo is like, oh no, I'm
interested, and if I don't act, then I'll lose you.
Yeah, but rather something that, in the grand scheme of things, if he doesn't do this thing, they can't end up together in the end.
Thought.
Yes.
2 thoughts.
Yes.
First, if E is written about on this blog, it might be far-fetched for Hugo to accuse him of being the blogger, like I talked about yesterday, unless, you've written about yourself. But just a thought. Yeah. But I'm willing to change that, although I think that would be a fun scene to write. But I wonder if, because sometimes there's truth behind gossip, right? And it's not just like, oh, secret, like I made something up and then haha, people are laughing at you. No. It could just be stuff you don't want out, stuff you don't want to share with people. What if E is outed?
Yeah.
On this blog. So it's not a lie or anything like that. It is the truth. But it was something he wasn't ready to share, which is, I don't like forced outings, but like that could be something where like this was really personal. I was not ready. It's everywhere now. And not in a, oh, it's everywhere now, what will my parents say, what will the country think of me, not that, but my peers, people at the school.
There is also the option of E finding a partner.
So Hugo will spend the rest of the book trying to break them up?
Not necessarily, no, but like that is something very concrete that if that is not fixed, then they can't end up together.
Sure.
What if E gets together with the person that Hugo lost the debate to? That is the worst idea I've ever had, apparently.
Please tell me Hugo gets, I mean it's my book, but please tell me Hugo gets to be very upset, take this very personally in a, oh, you're just doing it to spite me.
Yeah.
Oh no. Maybe? Do they, like, I'm willing to go either way, but do they have to, does E actually have to get this person as their partner, or can Hugo just think that they are seeing each other?
Yeah, I mean, that works.
It works?
Yeah.
Okay.
It could also be that they, like, have become friends, and, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe? I just feel like, I like it as a general thing. But for the, like, this would be fun to write. Painful, good. But, I mean, I understand there will have been maybe some feelings developing, something so far, but I wonder if that is, because that feels, for what we're talking about right now, Hugo and E ending up together is still endgame, that's still what we want, but whether or not they end up together, whether or not E gets another partner or friend or whatever, doesn't matter for you're being sent to boarding school, you have to do better, you failed the debate, study better, oh no, you might not inherit. It's a completely different thing.
Yes, but they could still be thematically linked. There is the whole thing where if Hugo doesn't better himself, he's not gonna want to be with him. There is the whole thing where if Hugo doesn't better himself, E isn't gonna want to be with him either.
Either. Yeah.
So it's not related as such, but it has, in a way, the same kind of solution, and that it might not be it might be that to be able to inherit the throne, I need to do better in school, or I need to not party and drink. In order to get together with E, I need to show that I am
responsible, or
that I care about him, that I am loyal to, that I can be loyal to people. Those kinds of things.
Yeah, maybe. I'm a little bit not sure.
Huh?
I like it, but I haven't really landed in it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put the law passes media showing up thing as 5 instead, and then I'm gonna do a new 4 down here, which is E gets life.
Yes.
Question mark, and then we can get back to that. Because I do want to see the next steps. Because it might be like, oh, well, when the second battle happens, things tie together, and then, oh, but what if, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is then step next?
Step next.
Step 5 is the midpoint.
Yeah.
What does the midpoint actually say? Just so we've touched base on that.
Your MC continues to face new challenges, but they're on the defense, mostly reacting, waiting, making things worse.
Okay, stop. Sorry. I don't like how this is written. Because it's 5, midpoint, they continue to be on the defense.
Yeah,
but now they change.
Yeah, this is...
No, the midpoint is them changing.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt this. It's nothing personal, except I love it.
Yeah, this is the leading up to the midpoint.
Yeah, it should be like a 4.5, which is 2. Yeah? Like the partying and the partying. This should be studying, by the way. We're gonna have like a 15-step go soon.
Yeah.
That's not math. Go on.
Then, halfway through the novel, something happens to shift their perspective and spur them to take action, to stop reacting and start winning no matter what it takes. What does your MC try when they're on the defense? What shifts them into offense? What new plans do they make?
The law has passed. His parents threatened to disown him. He realizes, he knows how badly his sister... Well, either he knows how badly his sister doesn't want this, or they've never talked about it, because there's never been a chance for her to get it.
Yeah.
And this is a chance for them to reconnect a bit, because she's still pissed that he's here, and kind of ruining her life. I'd love if he showed up, like I'd hate it, but I'd love it if he showed up every time she, you know, might be flirting with someone, or might, you know, whatever, and this idiot just shows up. Love it. But still, they have a chance to have a heart-to-heart.
Yeah. I'm thinking...
I'm just gonna draw a little heart.
Yes. I'm thinking that, like, the actual midpoint scene for him...
25,000 words on the dot.
Yes. Could be her going to him, and either that's when he finds out that the law has passed, or he already knew, but she goes to him and says that this thing has passed. You know that our parents are going to be looking at, because they might not have threatened, but she's like, you know that they're going to be looking at disinheriting you. You are aware that you're such a screw up, right? And
it starts like that and then turns into a heart-to-heart.
Yeah, I'm thinking she goes to him because she's angry.
Yeah.
Because if he was a better crown prince, she would...
None of this would... I mean, maybe the law would still pass, but it would be no real risk of her...
Yeah.
Unless he dies, there would be no real risk.
Yeah. She wouldn't have to be worried, and she wouldn't have to potentially change all of her plans. And, like, so she goes to him being angry.
Ooh.
And then... Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Well done.
Like.
Okay. And sorry, he goes from offensive to defense. No. I've been studying for like a week. I'm gonna go partying again.
No, he goes from being offensive
to being defensive.
Yes.
No, actually. Oh god. Okay, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. So he starts being on the offense.
More proactive.
Exactly. Because of her reaction and potentially life-altering thing because of him. I had a thought when you were reading that, though. Sixth thought.
It's like the 8th thought.
Wow, I'm just on point. We should do this more often. Yeah, because this is he has already been, you know, after the lost debate, step 3. He has been bettering himself, studying and trying to academically achieve. I was gonna say possibly at a point, like to a degree of like, it's almost just studying. He has been burnt by people. He doesn't care if they like him or not. I'm just here to win at school now. He goes from one extreme to the other. But I had a thought that was like because this is really him taking action, and he has to. I don't know, because I mean he's already started doing better with school. I don't know if there's been a big new test or a big like something like that actually shown that he's been getting better. But I don't really know how this calls him even more to action. Because unless it's like I have to be popular, I have to be approachable, I have to be those things. I don't know what the next step he can do is. He's already started being proactive.
Well, he started studying like
yesterday.
No, but I'm thinking the reason he has started studying more now is to prove to people at school that he is just as smart as them. He's not just a party boy. And the shift could be rather towards like not just getting passing grades. That might be his only goal. That like, I'm not gonna fail, I'm not gonna get thrown out of school, I'm gonna show that I deserve to be here, but I also won't put in more effort than just passing.
Okay.
And now he decides he needs to actually learn, to actually care, and he realizes that, hey, this actually has my, like, the future of my rule, of my sister's life, of my country.
Depends on what I learn here and what I take away from it.
Yeah.
In a way I agree, but I also feel like, I mean, it's not his parents. At the end of the day, his parents, yes, they can disown him and then she becomes queen. But they, like, yes, they have a say in that. The law has passed anyway. That's not their doing. His parents seem to be caring whether or not he matures, grows up, takes responsibility, stops partying. That he's already done. I don't know if they care. They haven't stated that so far, at least, that they care about him being valedictorian or whatever.
Maybe it doesn't have to be about them caring. It has to be about him caring.
Huh.
He doesn't need the outside validation.
I was gonna say, that is a shift from people have to like me, people I surround myself with have to like me. Oh no, they don't. I will like myself. He learned self-care.
Yeah.
And self-compassion. How are you sitting? Okay, bye-bye. Okay, maybe, yeah.
It could also have something to do with, like, it could be a compounding thing with E.
Has he been blowing E off for a big project all the time? E has been doing all the group work.
Maybe. The two big conflicts in the story that we've talked about so far.
Which is him potentially being disowned and whether or not he will end up with E.
Yeah.
Okay.
The point was if he in the midpoint is going to realize that I need to actually care.
Right, that was the shift from people liking me to me liking me.
Yeah. And that potentially coming from E having said something along those lines. I had this dialogue in my head.
Yeah.
If at any point, probably fairly around that time, they have some sort of argument or something where Hugo says something along the lines of, well, you know me, or do you know me at all? And E basically going, do you know yourself at all? Because you only care what how other people see you. Do you even know what you want, what you enjoy, what you like?
Mm-hmm. Identity crises!
Yes!
Love it. Love to see it.
And then if those two like end up being like, I know what I like partying, right?
Mm.
And like, then with this shift, realizing that, hey, I actually find this subject enjoyable, or I want to be the kind of person who we've talked about in this class, everyone looks up to this person. I see myself there. I want to do good things. I don't know. Lost my train of thought a little bit there, but
I'm sorry.
You see my point.
I see your point, I think, yeah. I like that a lot. I'm gonna steal that. But I like, do you even know who you are? And he's like, of course I know who I am. And then he starts doubting. And then he goes to a party just to prove to himself that he likes parties.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really boring. Or it's like he doesn't enjoy it at all. Would it be super cheesy if he doesn't enjoy it because E isn't there?
A little bit, but what you could do is that he realizes...
He ends up in the nerd corner with the book.
Kind of. Like, he realizes that he doesn't actually enjoy the drinking and partying and doing stupid things. But there's a conversation in the nerd corner about something that he's just been studying, and he finds that it's an engaging conversation. And then he just gets annoyed by all the noise and the drunk people.
Who am I turning into? And then he goes back to the dorm and hooks up with E.
Maybe.
Because he realizes that what he wants is E.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I like it. Mm-hmm. I drew the heart to heart thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna do this.
Yes.
Where am I? There. He hooks up with E. I'm funny.
Yes, you are.
That does make me want to backtrack a little bit though.
Mm-hmm.
To 4, the first pinch, which was potentially going to be E. Getting a partner, hooking up, making a friend, something. We're not far after that. Whatever potential relationship they had could have been very temporary, that's fine. But was it... What is it?
It also could be further away than you think, because once again,
True.
It can be the day after, it can be several weeks or months after.
True.
I don't know your characters very well, but I don't think E would cheat on a partner.
No.
I think that...
Whatever 4 was here was temporary, or Hugo thought it was that kind of relationship, sexual or romantic.
Yeah.
At some point now, we talked about a secret breaking about E. Was that still gonna happen?
That was a potential 4 we talked about.
That was a potential 4. I mean, that could be... They could be the same thing. E hooks up with someone, and that gets out.
Could be. Why do you want...
Him to be outed?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember that we talked about it, and I never wrote it down anywhere, and where did we talk about it? Is it important for...
Yeah.
But okay, Okay, so he and E hooks up at the midpoint where he starts getting offensive. Or...
Stops getting offensive.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, cool. I like that he goes to a party and just hates it. We talked yesterday about them having some sort of argument or fight, not now. which would lead to E blabbing to the blogger.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping that in all our minds as we continue.
Yeah.
Okay, what is point 6?
6. Second pinch point.
Beep beep.
Your MC has their second confrontation with the antagonist. Maybe their plans lead to this, or maybe it was an attack they had to respond to. Either way, the second conflict eventually leads to things being much, much worse than they were before. What happens? What does your MC try to do? How do things get worse?
Okay. Did we settle what the antagonist is? Who the antagonist is?
Not necessarily. I had this vague thought of if the person E gets together with is the debate person, that could be the antagonist, even if that person is not. But then, like, that person might not even be trying to ruin Hugo's life.
But just accidentally.
Just ends up being the one that wins the debate, being the one that hooks up with E first.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely it doesn't have to be the antagonist of the story, just the antagonist that that Hugo views.
Yes.
As
which could be the antagonist of the story.
True.
Like,
true. We can move away from the antagonist being the media, the blog, yeah. Okay. So could this be the second debate?
Yeah. What?
What if, I mean, at this point we have had the media showing up outside the school and we haven't actually dealt with what happens. Does Quinn speak to them? Do they get shoved away with brooms? What happens? But, okay, so E and Hugo have now hooked up, which either they hook up and it's like, oh, I love you all the time, kiss, kiss, kiss. Or it's like, they hook up and then like, well, what do we do? We share a dorm, this is a bit awkward, sort of. We'll see. We move into the second debate, where the opponent, who needs a name, we're not gonna... Okay, that was better than just throwing out a different letter. We have the second debate, which is against the opponent that he lost to before, which might also be a point of pride, like, I'll beat you this time, it's personal, I'll beat you this time. And that person gets to pick the topic, and that person picks a topic that is somehow relevant to the big scandal, which Hugo freaks out about and wonders, like, is it coming out? The whole shaping up my poor sister, you know, not being disowned. Is it out? Is it coming out? Who told them? E knows. E did date this person, or at least was friendly with them. He might accuse them now. And then it's his own curse words downfall, because, okay, this person picks the debate subject. It is related to the scandal. Hugo accuses E of having told them back, like, probably back in the day, probably not yesterday. The water is splashing, no! Yeah. They have like a week to prepare for the debate after the topic's been picked. That's reasonable to me for this to work. Hugo snaps at E. E does the thing where he goes to the party, or no, because we're gonna go to the party together and get drunk. E was gonna blab. Not on purpose. But either way, the antagonist never knew. It was a struck of luck, whatever. It was a words no happening. But Hugo thinks that it's out and that E has blabbed, and he takes it out on E, which results in E drowning his sorrows apparently, and blabbing to the blogger.
Could be.
Could be.
I also had the question in my mind of, does E know? Maybe what Hugo is afraid of is E finding out.
Does he eventually stop caring about his image and starts caring what E thinks of him? doesn't really work because then, oh, I don't care, who knows, as long as you don't know. Or like, because then his sister will still end up on the throne. But what are you gonna do to E? Is it someone E knows? Did they run over his favorite garden gnome? What's going on? Yes, I don't know my feelings, but second debate.
Yes.
What does it say?
Your MC has their second confrontation with the antagonist in some form. Maybe their plans lead to this, or maybe it was an attack they had to respond to. Either way, the second conflict eventually leads to things being much, much worse than they were before.
Great. Well, I mean, if it leads to him stressing out about the fact it's coming out, that does put him in a worse position.
Or if E didn't know and now E does know and doesn't want to be with him anymore.
Does E know? Does the secret come out now?
I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is that the subject is picked for the debate. Hugo freaks out, and and potentially he accuses E of telling, and E is like, "What are you even talking about? I had no idea. Oh my god, what did you do?"
Great! Love it! Happy, happy sunshine. Sure.
I am very sorry.
He finds out. She will go sad.
Sad smiley.
That was kind of grumpy. He was grumpy now. Okay. And again, there's some wiggle room around these aren't set points in time. No. Like, the debate is coming up, the topic's picked, I'm prepping for the, like, yeah. Okay. Fun. So now he's upset E. E now knows the secrets, and his big scandal might be about to break, which will be bad for him, his sister, E. Everything. Yeah. Great.